Good morning, adventurers, and welcome back to Dragon Age Origins. Before we get into the recap for what went on last week, quick shout out to all of my Twitch followers and subscribers, as well as YouTube subscribers. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it. And as always, to our lovely, lovely patrons, we have Marty Darmo and Guy Smiley. Thank you guys for your continued support. It really does mean a lot. Okay, so Dragon Age Origins. We finally made it to Denerim for the landsmeet after we gathered an army for ourselves. However, when we got there, apparently Queen Honora was trapped and in danger, and we were told that her father might have her killed. So we went to rescue her, but got caught and was sent to prison, and we made our own prison break, which is actually kind of fun. And yes, then we got Queen Honora. She's over... We didn't give up we had rescued her. We were like, hey, we're here to rescue Queen Honora, and they didn't believe us, but we didn't say that we had her right there, so I don't think she's mad at us. She wants to join sides with us and put her in power, which, I mean, it makes sense. But at the same time, she has done absolutely nothing about her father until this point. Allowed her father to kill her husband and do what he's been doing this whole time, thinking, oh, he must have his reasons. He's like a general and blah, 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 when she's the queen. And has not exercised her power whatsoever to do anything about that. And now she's trying to do it all sneaky-like. So I don't know. I'm iffy on whether or not we should trust her. But as you can see in the saved description, Queen Honora is safe thanks to you. Although she believes her father has gone mad, she does not think the landsmeet will turn against him. You need to prove that Loghain no longer acts in Ferelden's best interests if you want the landsmeet on your side. The only lead that Honora has given you is that there is unrest in the Elven Alienage, and she believes Loghain and How have something to do with it. So we have to go to the Elven Alienage and see what's going on. We also did help out with a few of the nobles in the area, so hopefully they'll be on side. There was all sorts of stuff going on with How and Denerim. So let's jump in and see what's going on in this alienage and what evidence we can gather to use against Loghain at the landsmeet. I know even after you do everything, the landsmeet can still go horribly wrong if you don't argue it well, so we'll see how that goes. If we get there, ever. Okay. Alright. So, the alienage should just be around the corner. Is it this way? Yes. Pretty much where we are. How is our inventory? We're a little full up, so we might want to stop by and sell some stuff down at the Wonders of Thetis. We'll go ahead and take care of that real quick.
Welcome to the Wonders of Thedas. We carry items crafted by the Circle, as well as a variety of antiquities. Is there anything you would like to see?
Why, yes, there is. I hope everyone's had a fantastic week so far. Alright, we have a war axe, one-handed. It's tier 6. I don't really want that. I'm just gonna sell it. I will hold on to this dead Tig Shanker. That can interrupt spellcasting. That's pretty nice. So, ooh, these are tier 7 crow daggers. They only give critical backstab damage, which is pretty good, but they don't even have any slots for rune stones or anything. Maybe I'll sell one? I'll sell them both. Whatever. Two-handed greatsword. I think I was holding on to this for Sten. I wonder if he can equip that yet. Or if his is better. He has the Nug Crusher, so his might actually be better. Or I'm holding on to it for the boss because it's plus 10 damage versus dragons. So, BBEG is a dragon, I'm pretty sure. Sell that. Spear Thrower. Two-handed longbow, tier 6. Rapid aim. Hold on to that in case I can give it to myself or Liliana, because I don't remember what we have. Alright. Let's sell some of these things. This is a heavy helmet, but we've got better heavy gear for everyone. Gloves of Guile. We'll hold on to that. So those chainmail gloves. Keep the blood dragon plate gauntlets. Why aren't those on Ogren? He's supposed to be in all the blood dragon stuff. Medium boots. 2 dexterity, 2 armor, 2 range critical, 2 melee critical. Increases hostility. Ooh. We'll see if we have any use for that a little bit later. And we've got just some rings that don't do anything. So these acid flasks that I never use anyways. Probably the firebomb. Ooh, there's flame coating. Do they have any other? They do not. And let's start selling some of this. Spirit shard, fire crystals. I have so much money and now I don't know what to do with it. All right. I think that's good for now. Cleared up a bit of inventory. Let's head to the Alienage then. Today, ooh, hey, it's actually open. I'm a little surprised that it's open. Today is going to be my first day running a full session of D&D. I'm doing that this evening. I'm super excited. Yes, let's gather the party and venture forth. How many times do I have to say yes? To the Alienage! We're going to be playing the Lost Mine of Phandelver. Aw, combat. Boo. And pretty much all the players except for OGV are new players, and I'm a new DM, so it's going to be pretty interesting. Are they standing up here? No. Okay. What is going on? We've got some... Okay, they're all bandits. They're level 12. So, that's nice. That must have been because I upped somebody's survival in the party. Fantastic. Oh, that's a trap that I just walked into and the game just froze. And it crashed! First thing in the morning, our first combat. Great, now I have to sell everything again. Fantastic. Why? Dragon Age? Alright, let's load up. Okay, it did autosave when we walked in, so that's good. I feel like the more we play, the more crashes we get. And I don't really know what to do about that. And since there are a lot of people we're going to be fighting, we might as well put that on her so she can stay alive longer. Alright, let's see if we can do this without crashing something. Is it because the water is super reflective? Is that why it crashed? Alright. There is a trap. Let's see if they'll come to us. Yes, they will. That might not be a trap. That might just be a weird line for some reason. I don't know what's going on. Alright, let's just get this going. Maybe some more will walk into it. Looks like they're all archers, though, so they probably won't. You resisted? How dare you? Fight. Some dirty fighting. They go down really quick. There's just a lot of them. And once we go around this corner... Yep, that was a trap. I knew it. Alright. Yes, watching horror as I rip you apart. Well, since this combat is super easy, Baldur's Gate 3 had their newest big update, and they released gnomes and bards, which I'm super excited. So of course I made myself a bard. It's a tiefling bard though. I'm not too keen on playing the small folk because in combat they can't move very far.
Got it.
But so far, the bard has been very enjoyable to play. I just basically got through tutorial land and then cleared out the intellect devourers after you find Shadowheart.
Can I get you a ladder so you can get off my back?
But yeah, that's been... I was super excited that they released the bard finally. And now every single hairstyle is available no matter what race you play, which is fantastic. So I can actually finally make my druid that I've been playing in real life for realsy this time, because before they didn't have her hairstyle. Alright, moving on. D&D is going to be pretty interesting, though. Our players have picked, let's see, we've got a rogue, a sorcerer, and a wizard, who's going to take a level dip into artificer, I believe. And, hey, Zonam, how's it going? Nice to see you come by. I'm finally off of my vacation, so I should be streaming more regularly for the most part.
The compact is renewed.
Oh, okay. I don't know what I just completed there, but alright.
What do you need?
Oh, I have a letter for you from the Blackstone
I
Irregulars.
suppose a noble death fighting the blighted wretches is better than basking in this squalor. They'd better be paying well.
Sweet. Okay, so what do we have going on? We have a house up ahead.
We're not going to be mobbed, right? That's not something elves do here. Mob people.
Well, we might by the look of it.
I think we better explain things.
Well, I'm glad to be here on Saturday. Then. Okay, what the heck was that about? What was that about?
I shouldn't have cut through here. Bloody knife ears.
Yes, I did go over the recap a little bit for what we did last weekend, which I think I only played one day last weekend, and it was, we made it to Denerim. We want to start the landsmeet. However, we heard that Princess Honora was in trouble. She was being held captive by Lord Howe, and they were worried that she was going to be executed. And so we had to break into Howe's estate here in Denerim, because he's also the Arl of Denerim now. He's like the Arl of 3 different places. And he's been doing a bunch of shady stuff, and we were able to save the princess, kill Hal, help out a bunch of other people that were trapped there, and we got caught trying to leave with the princess. Didn't tell them that we had her with us, and they took us to prison in Denerim, and then we did a prison break. And then, wait, she's a queen, isn't she? She's Queen Honora, not Princess Honora, Queen Honora. And we made it back to Arl Aemon's estate in Denerim, and Queen Honora was there. She wants to be put in the position of power, because right now we're gonna put Alistair up for king, and she's like, no, he doesn't know the first thing, let me rule, I've been queen for a while. But then Arl Aemon's like, nah, she doesn't have the bloodline that's been ruling for 400 years or whatever. Alistair does. We can't get rid of the bloodline. Alistair doesn't want to be king. I don't fully trust Queen Honora. She said if we support her in the landsmeet, she'll support us for overthrowing Loghain, essentially. But that is her father, and she's done absolutely nothing to him this entire time that she's been queen. So I don't know. And then she said that something was going on in the Elven Alienage. They've been really upset, and she suspects her father had something to do with it. So we're here to try to find evidence and figure out what he did. That way we have more stuff to throw against him during the landsmeet. Yes, many, many, many politics.
It's you. Come in.
Who are
I
you?
didn't thank you before, did I? I wish I could.
Oh,
pay
I
you.
freed him.
Everything I owned was lost to looters after the purge. Not that I had anything valuable to begin with.
I think I freed him from Arl Howe's estate. Hey, can you tell me what's going on here?
It's a plague, so they say. I've seen a few sick people since I've been back, but I don't know how bad it really is.
There are mages from Deventer here helping to treat it.
From Deventer?
My cousin Shiani could tell you more. You can't miss her. Just look for the angriest woman in the alienage.
Okay. Well, the alienage was closed off because of a rebellion, so why hasn't it been closed off now?
Between the Civil War and Ostagar, the city doesn't have enough soldiers left to seal the alienage. And only elves and refugees have gotten sick. I'm sure that if anyone important gets the plague, the alienage will burn.
I guess the plague's been pretty bad. I've seen a few sick people myself, but by the time I got here, it seemed to be under control. There are mages from Deventer here helping to treat it. There's something odd going on.
Yes, I got that the first time. You told me.
You can't miss her. Just look for the angriest woman in the alienage.
Yeah, there is an option to marry Alistair and Queen Honora, but Alistair's my boo. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna marry him off to her. Let's see. Does this magical treatment work?
I don't know. You can only find out for certain if it doesn't work. And no one wants to put it to a serious test.
The Chantry allowed foreign magic here? That's what I was wondering, because there's this whole thing that nobody likes outsiders, essentially.
I guess so. I'd expect Templars here otherwise.
Alright, I should go then.
I know you've already done a lot for me, but I have to ask.
Oh, man.
Talk to Shiani. Please. I don't know what's going on here, but I know she's in over her head.
I will see what I can do.
I don't know what to say. Thank you. Make her bless you.
We're not gonna kill Queen Honora. I don't know. Alistair doesn't want to be king, so I might put her on the throne. Hopefully, she said if we put her in position, she'll basically give us and our companions whatever we want.
Get you a ladder so you can.
So hopefully she's legit. I'm just worried about the fact that, it's her father.
Spare a silver for a war veteran?
Where'd you get injured, soldier?
Ostagar.
Darkspawn took off half my foot.
No real guarantees. That's the thing. It's just her word. Yep. Let's give 1 sovereign. Might as well. Hope this will get you off the street. We've got so much gold.
Andraste, bless you.
I need to make up for all the people I murdered in the beginning of the game. Bearing arms is strictly prohibited. Elves who have swords will
Now's better than later.
die upon them. Oh, well, that sucks. They're not even allowed to defend themselves. Oh, doggo. You want to meet my doggo? There is a whole bunch of people over there. What do I want to look at first? Well, we might as well go over here and see what's going on with the crowd.
So worried about this plague? Go. I've got children at home. I can't wait out here for another day. So go home. The best thing you can do for your children is not trust these charlatans.
Everyone remain calm. We will help as many as we can today, so long as we can do this in an orderly fashion.
Oh, you're helping us, are you, Shem? Like Valendrian and my uncle Syrian, you helped them, didn't you? Helped them never to be seen again.
We've explained this to you before, girl. More whining will not persuade us to let you into the quarantine to carry plague back out to the alienage.
Quit trying to get us all killed, Shiani. Some of us have still got things to live for.
If this spell of theirs works, why are half the people they quarantine perfectly healthy?
What's going on?
You shouldn't be here, dwarf. Your kind don't leave the market district. Wait. Sora's told me about you. You're the one who freed him from the dungeons. These foreigners say they're here to help with our outbreak of plague. Funny thing, though. All the people they help disappear.
That's not true, and you know it, Shiani. Both my sisters got the Tevinter spell cast on them, and they're fine.
Where's your niece, then? And my uncle Syrian? And Valendrian?
Yes, indeed. The murder hobo does come to claim us all at some point. Let's see. There's magic being used as a chantry now?
Those mages say they're from a circle, just from another land. I have no idea if they're telling the truth, or if anyone cares. These foreigners have taken dozens of elves into that house over the last few weeks, and none of them have been seen again. One of them was our Haran, Valendrian. And I don't know what we're going to do if we don't get him back.
Haran, I'm taking it, is a leader. Let's ask, what's a Haran?
He's the elder,
Yep,
the
okay.
person who guides us. Maybe that doesn't mean anything to you, but it's important to us.
Okay. Does the guard know about this?
They have to know about it. The Haran complained, and so did I. They just don't care, or something worse.
I like your take on the murder hobos, Onum. We'll see how my D&D players are tonight. If they encounter the hobo or not. Alright, let's see. So I think I'll go take a look inside the hospice then. If it's a plague and they have a spell that can cure it, then they can cure me. Simple as that.
Just let you in.
I wasn't going to ask.
Well, just be careful. Those men are mages.
Yes, it'll be my first time doing a full session. We did a combat tutorial that I ran so they could get familiar with how combat functions before we played. But that tutorial is now canon, apparently. So, and I thought I was going to kill them all with 4 kobolds. Ooh, codex. Alright. Yes, we did have a session 0. We had like 2 session 0s, essentially, because there wasn't enough time with the first session 0. They made characters and stuff. We were there until midnight. And had to go home. Venedal, the tree of the people. Mostly the old ways are gone. Each generation forgets a little more of the old tongue, a little more of the traditions, and the few things we keep become simple habits, the meaning long since faded. So it is with Venedal, the tree of the people. Every alienage has one, I'm told, or they used to. When I was a little girl, my mother told me the tree was a symbol of Arlathan, but not even she knew more. Keeping the Venedal is just a habit now. Many cities have let theirs wither and die, then chop them up for firewood. No great loss. Oh, dang. Oh, yes, the RNG god is brutal. I'm a little concerned about the module that we'll be playing. Mystical Site of Power here. Quest updated. Nothing going on, though. Weird black smoke. Hello, Sir Otto.
Is someone there? Maker's blessing to you, child. Be not afraid. I still have some sight to see you by.
I'm actually going to be playing like a DMPC with them because it's only a three-member party. So I'll be playing a cleric to go with them and make sure they don't die. Alright, what happened to your
I
eyes?
appreciate your candor. Most stare. Or worse, the awkward silence. I am a Temperer. I lost my sight in a battle with a powerful Malefica. It called flame from the air and burned my face. The scars have healed, but my sight will never recover.
Alright. Well, how can I help you?
In my time in the Alienage, I've come to feel there is something sinister at work here.
I'm getting that
What
vibe
exactly,
too.
I know not. It took patience, but some elves opened up to me, and I've heard their sad tales. But I found no real evidence to support my fears. Ears alone have done all they can. I was hoping you could be my eyes. Look around the Alienage for anything out of the ordinary.
Let's see, we've got a rogue, a sorcerer, and a wizard. So the party's pretty squish. Wizard is going to multi-class into artificer, at least one level, and then the cleric PC that I'll be kind of playing. Cleric sidekick. Let's see. And what should I be looking for?
I don't know. I have a feeling that there is something to be found, though. You seem capable. I have hope that you will find what I seek. Make her watch over me, child.
Oh, okay. Something wicked. Yes, let's look around here before I start delving into all the other stuff. Bearing arms is strictly prohibited. Yep. Hello, who are you? Amathine?
Mama said you'd bring me a present from High Ever. I wonder what it'll be.
Oh, that doesn't look good. There are definitely some actual sick elves. Don't know if they're legit sick or if something else is going on. Here is Andraste's Grace. Okay, let's go inside this house here. There's a pool of blood that I can just check out. That must be what I'm looking for, because I couldn't check that earlier. Yeah, one of them's a winged tiefling, and he flew to the top of a 20-foot pillar that I decided to put on the map. Which I was like, oh, yes, you have wings. But I was able to hit him a couple of times. Alright, this pool of blood is still damp. Besides the coppery smell of blood, you also pick up the faint scent of bad eggs. Ooh. And the dead dog. This is the corpse of a rabid dog. It looks like he was skewered with a spear. Nobody has cleaned up the body and appears to have been dead for some time. Alright. Some weird stuff going on. And I already went inside Syrian's house. Let's see. I guess that would be in Denerim. You found more clues pointing to something unexplained and perhaps sinister at work. Sir Otto would be interested in your findings. Alright, let's go tell him about that. Yep. Definitely sulfur, which means devil. Or something.
What have you found?
Pools of blood that smell of rotten eggs. I think that's a little more interesting than the rabid dog, because that could have just been killed by anybody.
There's been no fighting in the alienage recently, which means the blood is not congealing. I suppose there could be some explanation for it. That's by the orphanage, right? Sad place. Did you find anything else?
What's the orphanage's story?
When the Elven riot was being suppressed, the orphanage was stormed.
Oh boy.
It was bad. Very bad. Have you found anything else?
There's a dead rabid dog in the alley.
I'll report that at once. I've heard such afflictions can spread, even from a corpse. I suppose someone may not have known that. One odd thing I am willing to believe, but two is no coincidence. Let's head to the orphanage. Both of your clues were near there.
Alright. Yeah, let's go. Let's do this. We'll take a blind Templar with us to the orphanage. Sure, nothing will go wrong with that. I'm going to drop a save before we go in there. This gives me vibes from Skyrim. I don't remember what city it is, but when you walk past the door and there's a guy that's like, hey, something odd is going on in here. And yeah, sure enough. I think that leads to Molag Bal's mace. I want to say that's that house. Yeah, he sure can. He must have been in there for a while and learned his way around.
The feeling is intense here.
Oh yeah.
This is the right place.
Definitely same vibes as
I know
Skyrim.
not it's the work of the Maleficarum. There is definitely evil here. You go first. I will follow.
Yes, this makes sense because you are blind. All right, let's get our asses kicked by whatever weird stuff is going on here. It's a ghost of a kid. Boy, there's a lot of child murder in this game. All right. Broken chest here. Ooh, what was that? That was weird. I imagine the fate is thin here.
I'm a falling, Sir Willem today. I'm a maiden, Sir Willem, but I'm dying, Sir Willem, in pain.
That's not creepy at all. Yeah, not at all. And yeah, they are the biggest victims in war. I think they do a really good job portraying a lot of issues surrounding war. They definitely don't shy away from it. And, you know, the general cruelties in the world. Ghost of a kid running and screaming no. That's fun. Not possible to pick. Not possible to pick. I know there's enemies in there. What are we going to be fighting? Level 16 rabid war dog. Oh, okay. They're all rabid war dogs. That's going to be kind of a rough fight. Here they come. Oh, good. Morgan, you're in a good spot. Let's get those. And Sten, let's attack those, and I will come around and attack something, I guess.
All right, all right.
Alright, Templar's fighting these doggos. I will help him out. It's definitely high magic, because I'm just doing a module that's a pre-made adventure. I think it's actually in the starter kit. It's the Lost Mine of Phandelver. It's perfect for, you know, new players and new DMs. So... And then we're thinking, if they enjoy it, of doing maybe a small in-between one-shot and then doing Descent into Avernus, because it's the prequel to Baldur's Gate 3 and pretty much all of us play Baldur's Gate 3. Oh, that was your first campaign? How did you like it? I'm gonna drop a save after that.
I'll get on it.
Tormented woman. Alright. Oh, nice. That's pretty awesome. Yeah, they're about to have... Ooh, nice. I haven't played a cleric yet, but I want to at some point. I mean, I guess I will be as a DM, but it's not like a full-on character. Jeez. But yeah, I don't know how long we'll be actually able to play because they are about to have a baby. So... I'm sure we might be able to get a few sessions in beforehand, and then we probably won't for a while. Ah, no, stay off of Morrigan. Man, tell me about it. I'm also a druid, and druids and clerics have, you know, the same kind of, you know, all the spells, and then you just prepare them. And yeah, druids know a lot of freaking spells.
I'll get on it.
There are a lot of choices to make. Alright, let's save the game again. I'll be playing like a pared down version of the cleric. Since they have like a bunch of starter sheets, they only have like 3 spells or something like that, just to make it easier as a DM. I don't have as much to track or think about.
This is the center of it.
Boss fight.
Blessed be the Maker and his prophet Andraste.
Your pathetic maker is nothing compared to my glory.
I command you, show yourself, demon. Hide in the shadows no more.
Oh boy.
Command me. Let us see if your precious maker can protect you now, worm.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. I was reading some comments on Reddit about, like, even Mine of Phandelver, you can totally TPK the party, like, really early on. Oh, yeah. So I'm gonna just see if I can, as a DM, manage that without making it really obvious. Because I don't want to TPK them. The first fight, I still might do a surprise round if, you know, the rolls dictate a surprise happens. Just to kind of introduce that, because there is in the module, like, oh, hey, if they get knocked unconscious during this, have them wake up and all their stuff is looted, so they don't, like, just die. It's not like a TPK. Because at first I was like, oh, maybe I won't do a surprise round even if the rolls are like, they should be surprised. But since there's that option to do that, it kind of introduces some mechanics early on into the game that they haven't experienced. So, I don't know, we'll see how it goes.
We won! At one time I considered myself quite the warrior, but you accomplished here what I never could. But something still isn't right. I feel there is more to this. Nearby, the building next to us. I can feel it, just on the other side of this wall. Let us go.
Okay, well, let me loot everything. A VG? What's a VG? Loot goblin. Heavy chainmail. I am a loot goblin and like everything. It's really bad. I blame Skyrim for that. Oh, yeah, VG video game. That makes sense. Yes. Yeah, especially one of the players plays Baldur's Gate 3, so he has a little idea of what D&D is like, but Baldur's Gate 3 is still a video game and has been adapted. They've adapted 5e rules to match a video game, so it is quite different still.
Who are they?
Please, leave the children. Take me, but just...
No,
Boy, this place is getting dark. Yeah. I don't know. I might throw some more healing potions at them than I've gotten in my own campaign. Magic items. Especially, so we have a wizard on the party, and his biggest complaint with our other campaign was that he like never got any scrolls or spell books or anything that he could copy. He didn't get any downtime for any of that. So one of the things that I want to make sure is I'm actually giving scrolls where it seems appropriate and giving him plenty of downtime so he can copy spells and get some new spell books and all that. Because he basically felt like he couldn't use one of the main mechanics as a wizard, and I definitely don't want to do that to him. I think he was also looking up the module that we were playing for the adventure module, and it even said something about like leaving scrolls for wizards, and same with like Reddit forums and stuff for DMs. Is like, yeah, any like major fight, make sure there's a scroll or a spell book for your wizard and stuff like that, which was definitely not happening in our campaign. Hello, Lesser Shade. Is there anything else to loot? I don't think so. I'm already spoiling stuff to eat OGV because, you know, we're married. And I've been kind of talking out some of the stuff. I haven't spoiled main story stuff, but I don't think the other players watch my streams. So I think you're safe to go ahead and say stuff. Ambush.
Can I get you a ladder so you can get off my back? You will learn.
Let's do a crushing prison on this one with you. Not in detail. I've kind of skimmed. I've read the first 2 to 3 chapters in detail because, you know, they can basically go to any one of those in the beginning. But the rest of it I have not yet. I have the general gist of what's going on though. Can I not? Okay, that lesser shade is like invisible for some reason. Oh, I got stunned. Dang. And I leveled. Woohoo! Let's see. Okay. What attributes do I want to work on right now? My cunning is fantastic. I can always up my cunning because I have a lot of attacks that are based off of cunning. Yes, I kind of considered that and wrote down a list for me to roll off of. And I'm totally also going to throw in a scroll of Revivify, like immediately, because nobody has any way if somebody fails their death saves. So I'm just gonna drop that in there at the end of that. Yeah, I'm gonna bump up my cunning to 40. And sure, expert poison making, why not? Alright, duelist. We would get quick move that throws the opponent off balance, imposing penalties to movement speed and defense unless the target passes a physical resistance check. I think I do want that. Yeah. Ooh, we got an achievement unlocked. Shadow. Yeah, I was kind of looking at where I could drop scrolls and stuff. Hey, Nightmorphous, how's it going? And an enemy appeared in here.
On it.
Yep, I always took notes. I was like the note taker for the whole party in our last campaign. Oh no, I played a little bit last night and it seemed functional. Are you playing a bard, Nightmorphous? Easy combat so far. Gonna drop a save.
I'll get on it.
Oh boy. Oh no! Yeah, I didn't play that far. I just did after the Nautiloid, clearing out the intellect devourers, and that was it. Oh my gosh, yeah, he does with that helm. Good call. And yeah, journals in games definitely spoil us. Alright, here's a save. How are you liking the bard so far, Nightmorphus?
You think you are safe?
Though the golden city has fallen, I have seen your face and your light. I am your...
Save your pedantic chant for your servants, Templar. You have killed my brood.
The Maker compels you. Show yourself.
The Maker. There is no Maker. There is no golden city.
These colors are insane.
I hear not your blasphemy. By Andraste and all the divine after her, I order you to face me.
You delusional fool.
I too am enjoying the bard class. And Disco Elysium, I've seen gameplay of it, but I haven't played it myself. Ah, nice. Dude, I love that. So there are so many hairstyles now for everyone. I love it. Alright, well, that didn't do anything. Since it's right there... Oh, he's almost dead. Back away, guys. Demons usually explode after death? Nope,
We
cutscene.
have done it again. I feel the darkness receding. I've seen the work of demon before. Some malefic Karam consort with him. The Maker must have guided me.
Ah, oh no. Not Serato. Ooh. I wasn't expecting that. Hey, Tony Sensori, welcome to the chat. Oh my goodness. Poor Serato. Okay, yes, now he is a much more difficult demon. This is more along the lines of what I was expecting. Let's get that cone of cold. I froze myself by accident. And then crushing prison. Yeah, I have way too many games that I need to play. Oh, we're all burning, and Morrigan just went down very fast. Oh my god. Whoops. Let's do, you know what, on Sten we probably need a greater health poultice. Me, I'll do a lesser health poultice. I should have insane fire resistance, and you do a regular health poultice. Oh man.
What is your command?
Ooh, Sten is in a lot of trouble here. I might not have been ready for this fight. Swear, Sten is super weak to magic. Anything magic. I kind of wish playing video games could be my full-time job so I could just like play everything y'all recommend. And hey, Morgan. Welcome back. She just stood out of the flames. Morgan. Lesser injury kit.
Now's better than later.
Heavy chainmail gloves. Longsword. And
All right.
what's over here? Ice bolts. And chest. Knight Commander's shield, a worn amulet. And 3 gold. Sweet. New quest, hearing voices. Oh boy. You found an interesting amulet. Someone in the alienage is probably missing it. Oh man, I started playing Sakuna of Rice and Ruin. That game is very fun and addicting. Yep, and we are outside now. Poor Sir Otto.
It's good to see you again, friend. You were so generous to me before, and these are other veterans.
Oh no, I shouldn't have paid him anything.
Oh, and an orphan. Please, can you spare some coin?
Oh boy. Mm-hmm. Are you really a veteran?
Sultan, a veteran campaigner am I, and Oli is as bereft of parents as anyone's ever been.
My mom is especially dead.
No need to mention that, Oli. Will you help us?
Oh, I don't seem to have any coins on me. You guys are just trying to milk me at this point.
Can't blame a fellow for asking, eh? Well, let's go, Oli.
Okay, so who is missing an amulet? Would it be you, deranged beggar?
The bad men. They are quiet. They call for blood no more.
Yep. Is this amulet yours? I found it in the orphanage.
It's my grandmother's. You found it, sir. May I have it?
Here you go.
I feel like a mist is leaving. Oh, thank you, sir. I have to live my life.
Alright, well, we helped her out. I'm a little sad I didn't talk to her beforehand. There's a cat. Can I pet the kitty? I cannot pet the kitty. I want to pet the kitty. Well, game doesn't allow you to pet stray animals. Oh, there's another one. And the squirrel. And the cats don't care about the squirrel. Do they? Nope. Alrighty. Sir Otto died, but we cleansed the orphanage. What next? Yes, plague spreading about the alienage. Men from Tevinter Imperium are here, supposedly help. And let's, we were going to go inside Valendrian's house. I don't think we ever did.
Can I get you a ladder?
0 out of 10. No, it's a great game. And let's loot this missing person's chest. And a fire crystal. Ooh, something in the armoire. Just a dagger. All right. Oh, nice. I hope you're enjoying it. What race and class did you start with? And was there anything else in this direction? I don't think there was. So that leads to the map. I can go down this alleyway. Oh, nice. The dwarf noble warrior.
Can I get you a ladder so you can get off my back?
So I think we had the same starting then, other than I went rogue instead of warrior. Hello, Elfguard.
No, you can't go inside just for a moment. So you might as well walk right back around to the front doors. You shouldn't be out on the streets now anyway. What with the plague?
Keeping your people from their families doesn't bother you?
Look, this is how things are. I didn't make the blight or the plague or anything. I'm just trying to make a living.
How much do they pay you?
Not enough to put up with all these questions. What do you want?
Ooh, I'm gonna persuade him. Would you let me in the house for 6 sovereigns?
6. Sure. I never saw you, and you never saw me.
Nice. I did like the dwarf start. I've done the mage a bunch of times. What is this? Apartments.
I'll get on it.
Alright, maybe before I sneak in there, let's go into these apartments. Oh my god, right? That was very, very satisfying. I think I've done the elf out in the woods one. Not the city elf.
Can I get you a ladder so you can get off my back?
Oh, that's awesome. I still haven't played Battle Brothers. Just kind of looking at it, I'm like, I kind of like War Tales. Like, I don't need another War Tales. I'm so glad you think so. Let's see. Where are all the people who lived in this building?
I don't know. You gotta ask someone else.
I'm not gonna ask twice.
I don't know. I swear. I only saw them take people away. Took them right out of their beds. Dragged them down the hallways. Baker, the little one's crying.
Ooh. Ooh, the Mage Tower. I feel like that's the first one I always go to, too. Where did they take everyone?
Through the landlord's old office. They go in there, they never come back.
What about Valendrian?
I saw him. They marched him through the hall with a bunch of others, all tied together like pack mules.
Yeah, I might play a little more War Tales when the co-op comes out to kind of show how that goes. Not nearly as long as the first one, just to like, oh hey, look at all this new content. Okay, so what else have you seen, person?
They come back. It's like a parade, a silent one. Men and women and children. You have to go. They'll be back soon. They'll find out I talked and they'll take me too. Please, just go.
Uh-huh. Yeah, so there's definitely something going on here. Free Sailor Sextant. Veilbone, not Veilbone. Haha. Lesser Health Poultice and a copper. I don't know. The chair's arranged as though someone were just about to sit down and have dinner.
Now's better than later.
I can see a Blair Witch moment in that. Alright, y'all are dead. What about you?
Run while you still can. Now's better than later.
Stabby, stab, stab. You're dead. Yes, are you? Alright. So they brought more than just mages. Those are Tevinter soldiers. Let's loot the chest. Pile of books over here. The city elves. When the Holy Exalted March of the Dales resulted in the dissolution of the Elven Kingdom, leaving a great many elves homeless once again, the divine Renata declared that all lands loyal to the Chantry must give the elves refuge within their own walls. Considering the atrocities committed by the elves at Red Crossing, this was a great testament to the Chantry's charity. There was one condition, however. The elves were to lay aside their pagan gods and live under the rule of the Chantry. Some of the elves refused our goodwill. They banded together to form the Wandering Dalish Elves, keeping their old elven ways and their hatred of humans alive. To this day, Dalish elves still terrorize those of us who stray too close to their camps. Most of the elves, however, saw that it was wisest to live under the protection of humans. And so we took the elves into our cities and tried to integrate them. We invited them into our own homes and gave them jobs as servants and farmhands. Here in Denerim, the elves even have their own quarter, governed by an elven keeper. Most have proven to be productive members of society. Still, a small segment of the elven community remains dissatisfied. These troublemakers and malcontents roam the streets, causing mayhem, rebelling against authority and making a general nuisance of themselves. I mean, it depends on the type of person you are. If you're the type of person that plays solely for story and nothing else, you might not want to watch. If spoilers are going to impact your gameplay, but if you're the kind that can get the story and you still enjoy playing through it even though you know it. I've seen playthrough of the whole game. I did miss bits and parts of it, so some of it is new, but I've never played through myself. And it's different when you play compared to when you watch. So, I mean, it's totally up to you if you want to keep watching it. Alright. And so this is back to the Elven Alienage. So we will go back into... Ooh. Heck yeah, Alistair leveled up. Let's bump you up. Let's bump up your constitution. I want to bump up your strength to 40 and get your constitution up to 31. Okay, I would probably like that death blow passive for him. That restores stamina, so let's do that. I have not. I own them all. I wanted to play through so I could play Dragon Age Origins 3, and I don't know, I just didn't play through this one ever. I would start, and then I would stop. I think the dungeons were too long for me, and so streaming it on Twitch gives me a reason to play through the whole thing. What is this note here? There's a key within this note. Bring 8 males and 6 females for the next shipment. Can I
get you a ladder so you can get off my back?
And I know they're going to come out with Dragon Age Origins 4, so I definitely need to play through them all. Have you played through any of the other ones?
Another shipment already? We weren't... Wait, you're no Tevinter. Who are you supposed to be?
Oh, I went the wrong way. I'm here to relieve you, weren't you told?
No, you're not. There's no body relieving us until midnight. Quick, get them, hurry!
Dang, that didn't work. I wanted to go in the other place where I bribed the guard. I think I've skipped ahead a little bit. Whoops.
I'll get on it.
This is fine. Okay, how did you like the third one from the little bit you played?
Now's better than later. Got it. Show them no mercy. Now's better than later.
Nice. Yeah, I wanted to play through all of them because it keeps your saves and continues the story from whatever you played. I know the third one you don't have to do that. You can just, I think it's kind of like The Witcher 3, where you can be like, oh yeah, I made these choices, even though you didn't have any previous saves. I think, but I'm not positive. Yeah, I'll probably play through the second one as well at some point. Okay, so we've got the warehouse and we've got Syrian's house on the other side. I'm not going to go through the warehouse yet. I kind of want to double back and check out that other area in case there's any evidence I need to grab about what's going on. I think, again, I haven't played the third one, but I know in The Witcher 3, you don't have to play through the first 2 games, and you just, like, select your choices if you want to, of like, oh yeah, I made these decisions. I was under the impression that Dragon Age or Dragon Age 3 was the same way. I think I might have once a really long time ago, but I don't really remember it. Okay, so back to the building. What's going on in here?
I'll get on it.
Oh, I had the key for it. Haha. Oh, but that means I get no experience. Boo. Oh, okay. Yeah, we're gonna fight everybody.
He's ahead. Now's better than later. Oh, this should be good. All right, all right.
That person couldn't even stand up. Amazing. Oh, wow. Yeah, I don't remember that at all. That's interesting start. Alright, we've got a wooden crate here. Pile of coins, yes please. 2 gold.
Help us, please! We're not sick! Let us out of here!
I'm getting you out of here. We'll go ahead and open the cages. So do you know what happens to the people they take?
I don't know, and I don't want to find out. We're leaving. Make her keep you.
Yeah, so they take them under the guise of the plague, keep them in here, and then I think in the middle of the night bring them through those abandoned apartments that they already like took a bunch of elves from. Probably to the warehouse? I'm just gonna unlock that. And that would be out to the front to the mages, so I'm not gonna go that way. What does our quest log say? I feel like I did this in the completely wrong order, so Not one of the elves you've seen in the hospice is sick. They've been taken away for some other reason. Perhaps you should tell Shiani about this. Alright, I'll let Shiani know before we go back to that warehouse. Wait, which way did I come through? I thought it was this way. But the door should have already been unlocked, right? Oh, yeah, they're all hostile up front now. Even though I snuck through. Okay, you have the Holy Smite. Freaking use that on those mages, please. Good, good. Wow, those mages went very far away. Super far away. What are they? Ooh, chain lightning. Ouch. That hurts a lot. That hurts a lot, a lot, a lot. Ooh. Chain lightning sucks. What are you doing, Morgan? What? Can't crushing prison them. What about if I throw sleep over here? Okay, well, one of them's down at least. And now that sleep is down, they weren't affected. Okay. Yeah, it's fine. Whatever. Go over there and attack that mage. If I can click on him. There we go. Yeah. Don't mind me, just gonna work on that. Okay, that was everybody. Good job, team. What do you have? Lesser Tevinter robe. Meh. Morrigan's own robes are really good. Tevinter Enchanter's robes, though. .5 mana regen in combat, 3 spell power, 10% chance to dodge attacks. Nah, I like her robes of possession because of the cold damage, since she has a lot of cold spells. Alright, now where the heck is Shiani then? That crowd dispersed. Oh, hello, you're just walking around.
What happened? Some of the elves ran out, but I didn't recognize any of them. Where are all the others?
Yeah, they for sure are. Let's see. I found this note.
Let me see that. What does this even mean? They can't be shipping people, can they? Shipping them where?
Yeah, they are. Have you seen them bringing anything out of the hospice?
No. People go in, but they don't come out. They aren't shipping anything out of there that we've seen. They could be moving through the back alleys. There are all sorts of buildings back there. They could be using one as some sort of warehouse, staging area.
I definitely like Morgan and Alistair, and I love their interactions with each other. They're my two favorite companions. I have Sten because he's really strong, but I don't know, he complains a lot whenever we do something that's not related to the Blight, which is a little annoying. Let's see. There was a key with the note. You know what? I'll take a look.
If you find any more information, please let me know. I refuse to accept that they're all simply gone.
Yeah, they're definitely being shipped, like, to Tevinter, probably, because they're Tevinter soldiers and mages. Who are your favorite companions to play with so far? Yep. He's definitely a great fighter. Especially once I got him this hammer, man. And having Indomitable is super nice. Did I miss a room in here?
I'll get on it.
I did. More experience.
Got it.
Dried blood and bits of hair cling to the broken edges of this face. Prints from boots cross through the dried blood. Yeah. I like the back and forth that they have. They're great characters.
Got it.
I haven't used Liliana too much, mostly because, like, you get a lot of rogues in this game. I'm like, I don't need a rogue, I am a rogue. Typically I have Wynn in my party, but we killed her in this playthrough. So that's why I don't have a healer mage. I probably would have actually taken Morrigan out and been using Wynn. Yeah, that was a mistake.
I'll get on it.
So I totally didn't mean to. I agreed with something Morrigan said, not realizing it would lead to combat and that we would have to kill the mages in the circle that were protecting the kids.
What is the meaning of this? We were told that there would be no interference from the authorities.
Oh, I'm not with the authorities.
Oh, an errant group of do-gooders then? You will regret this, you know. Believe it or not, we've been given dispensation to do our business here. The humans talk a great deal about how very wrong slavery is.
It is slavery.
How quickly the smell of gold overcomes such ideals.
Yeah, I definitely had her there. Yep. And I agreed with a comment she made, and then suddenly we were fighting them. And I was like, oh, I did not realize that that's what happened. Let's see. I'm gonna try to intimidate them. You'd best get out of my way now. I don't have much strength, so intimidation.
No fool.
Yep, nope.
I can see that you.
Well, it worked.
So be it. I will let Caladrius deal with you while I fetch the Regent's men. I suggest you leave while you still can.
I see a trap. I see a trap.
A whole bunch of traps. We got menacing achievement. I don't know what you mean by no save load. Because I load my saves and stuff. It's just, we were also kind of playing more of an evil or morally gray person. We've grown since the beginning. We were murdering literally everyone. I just decided, since it's not something I have seen before, I would keep it. I haven't really done much reloading because of decisions made. I think the only time that I did, I wanted to keep the Anvil of the Void, but I couldn't finish the fight because I had Shale with me and she leaves the party. And we just could not win that fight with her out of the party. So that's the only one that I reloaded and changed the decision. Who is the Regent? I'm not sure if they mean like How gave them permission or Loghain. I think it might be Loghain. Yep. I was very much a murder hobo in the beginning. But we've grown. We've grown. There's character growth in this. We also destroyed...
So
I didn't want to talk to you.
Told Honora I was planning to steal her throne. She has a nasty glare. Did anyone mention this wasn't my idea? I think she's a great queen. As far as I'm concerned.
See, and this is also why I kind of want to support Honora. Story of your life, huh? Yeah, we did destroy Andraste's ashes as well, and we didn't have Liliana with us, so we lied to her when we got back to camp and got away with it. Alright. Yes, an assassination vagabond. That's where our character growth brought us. So you still don't want to be king?
I'm not a political man. I like being a warden. There's real evil out there, and it's something we can fight. It's something we can defeat. Making laws, settling disputes, that's not me. I wouldn't have the first idea how to do it.
Minnie, that's
What do you think I should do?
that's also
Go
the
ahead
story of
and
my life.
just let it happen?
Especially back when I was working in IT. Let's see. Okay, you should do what you want to do, or we could run off together instead.
Good plan. We can go to Orlais, live in sin, and eat cake until the Darkspawn finally catch up to us. Cursed Darkspawn.
Hey, you have a great day today too, Tony Sensori. I can't speak.
She's the one who really ruled here, not Caitlin. She's smart.
Thanks for coming by.
Determined. Well, I feel a bit like Caitlin's substitute. I think I'll be better off against the Darkspawn. All right, Alistair, enough whining. Thank you, Alistair. That's excellent advice. I'll do my best.
I don't really know how to reply to this. Don't you listen to him.
No, it's all right. The moment has passed. Time to face the music.
+3 approval. Yeah. Right?
I'll get on it.
Imperial Edge. One-handed sword, 2 damage, 3% melee critical chance, and +6 attack. Not bad. Yeah, it's a tier 6. Duncan's sword, though, has way more stuff. That is true. Still, I'd like him to have a choice in what he wants to do. I should do a playthrough once where I am just straight up evil. Just not even morally gray, just straight up evil. Put Alistair on the throne, marry him, become Queen of Ferelden as well. One of these days, I'm gonna do a playthrough for myself, though, where I play a mage and I'm gonna do the arcane spell warrior stuff. Oh, he's still alive. He's just stuck on the ground. Now he's dead. That is a great combination. Alright, thanks for all the loot. Let's continue onward. Yeah, so Loghain gave them permission to basically kidnap elves and sell them into slavery. Alright, trap is disarmed. Let's go! Nope, nope. Attack? Why am I not? There we go. That was... I know. I have such a hard time playing evil. I really do. I don't ever really play evil characters in my own personal playthroughs.
Now's better than later.
When I used to play Swodor, I played an Imperial, and I was like a good Imperial. this archer over here. Archers are so annoying. Stab you a bunch. Here we go. Alright, we got a chest in here and a couple of doors. I think they both lead to the same place. No one else to loot. Are one of them locked? Can I unlock one of them with it? Nope, okay. I suspect there's going to be a boss fight in here, so let's drop another save. Ooh. Star Wars tabletop RPG sounds fun.
I am Calabrius, and you, I assume, must be the Grey Warden I've heard so much about.
I don't care who you are, you're going to die.
Are you certain you wish to commit such rash action, Grey Warden? Look around you. Surely we can reach some kind of compromise.
You know, let's talk again after I've slaughtered your friends.
Pity. Looks as if we shall have to settle this the hard way.
I might regret this.
My apologies.
Alright, immediately drop this on, you know, the mage. And let's maybe cast Blizzard down on them. Blizzard or Sleep? Let's try Sleep down here.
I see enemies ahead.
So much shouting, guys. Oh, we stunned each other. Ooh, hey, look, a bunch of them are asleep. Morrigan, why did you come down here? Let's do the Waking Nightmare on this group then. Let's do it right. Can I get him in there? I might be able to just get him in here. Yes. Let's do that. Sten, where are you? You should be over here fighting these guys, please. And you as well. Dual weapon sweep does so much damage. Alright. Oh man, that sleep helped out a lot. That was pretty amazing. Well, let's go down here. Get to work on these guys. Keep an eye on our mage friend here. Morrigan. What can I do to our mage friend right now? I don't think I can really do anything. Mana or stamina regen. Let's do that on Alistair. Alistair is having a little bit of trouble here. Let's give him a health poultice to help out. And I'm going to go start attacking Caladrius. And we're going to put Mark of Death on him. I would also like to go into attack after that. Morrigan, you need a Lyrium potion. Ooh, chain lightning is the worst, man. I'm stunned, but I think I also paralyzed him mid-cast, so that works. Let's get... let's Frosty this boy. Unless she just cast it. She might have just cast Winter's Grasp. No, she didn't. There we go. Star Wars Age of Empire. I might have to check that out. Oh, so we just need to kill him.
Enough! It seems your reputation is an accurate one. I surrender.
Surrender? Yeah, I don't think so.
Wait! Hear me out, dear lady. Were I to use the life force of the remaining slaves here, I could augment your physical health a great deal. And I'm returning this place alive, and I would be more than happy to do.
He's a blood mage. How about you teach Morgan how to be a blood mage?
Interesting offer, if a tad messy.
So, is my offer of interest to you, yes?
What do you think, chat? Should we take him up and increase our apparently physical health, or should we say no and save these elves? I leave this decision up to you. It is. That's why I leave it up to chat. Whatever you guys choose. Zodum votes for save the elves. Yeah, that's my mistake, is listening to chat. That's also why some of this has happened. Because of chat's choice. Alright, we'll save the elves, so no... Your offer is not of interest. Morgan will probably be upset, but whatever.
Then, I don't suppose you would consider just letting me go?
No, I'm not gonna let him go, though. No, I don't suppose I would.
Ah. Well, that is a shame, isn't it?
Oh no, is he gonna kill them anyways? Yep, Morgan disapproved. Stun! What? Why are we just... Is he running away? What is happening? Nope, stun. Stun him. What just happened? Sten just dropped dead. No, use crushing prison on him. What have you done? What in the heck just happened? Yeah. That one I think was an honest mistake. Okay, he's dead. Oh, we cut off his head. Hello, Stan. Sorry about that.
Somehow, if I'd been asked to guess the next person to walk through that door, I wouldn't have said it would be a dwarf. Are you one of them? What happens to us now?
Are you Valandrian? Shiani was looking for you.
Did she send you here? Praise the Maker. We will not trespass long on your good graces. Come, everyone. Let's go home.
Alright, yeah. Now we get to loot everything. Yeah, I think killing Wynn was a mistake. However, I left it up to chat if I should reload or not and get Wynn on the party. And chat didn't say anything about reloading, so I just lived with the decision. Slaver documents. Haha, we need that. 4 gold.
I'll get on it.
I think Morgan is all about power. Is she mad that we didn't get more power? And she doesn't really care for life or other people so much. She doesn't have much empathy. Very much do whatever we can to benefit ourselves type of person. Don't let emotions and feelings get in the way. Oh man, I am so stoked for tonight. Alright, let's I guess we go to Shiani now, or... Alright. You have recovered evidence that shows that Loghain knew about this and allowed it. This evidence will certainly be useful in the landsmeet. So I guess I go back to Queen Enora. Okay. Market District. To hound that in. I might also want to help eliminate the criminals in Denerim's back alleys, because maybe that will help with the landsmeet? I don't know. Let's see, the rogue background. I'm trying to remember. I think he's a charlatan. Haven't got much of what his actual backstory is, if he came up with a really fleshed out one. They were still working on it last time. But I'm pretty certain he picked the charlatan background. His bond is interesting as well, because they actually did their personality traits and bonds, and his bond is that he's in search of something about like a great evil that he has to kill, which is interesting because he also has a trait that he's kind of a coward and he'll run away to save his own skin if things are looking rough. So that's intriguing, but I want to see if I can tie in his bond. If he doesn't want it during this campaign, or like a completely separate development, I could tie that into Ascent to Avernus, and I was thinking of having him have to kill Archon the Cruel. Because I know there is a possibility to run into Archon the Cruel in the Descent to Avernus, which is amazing since he was a guest on Critical Role. And he's got the Hand of Vecna. So I'm like, that kind of makes sense with his bond. And then it's a guarantee encounter if we do play that. So, I don't know. It'd be intriguing. Unless he has a different idea. Obviously, I want to make sure my players do what they want with their stories. And his subclass is the Soul Knife, I think. I think that's the proper subclass term. And he's a winged tiefling. So, it should be an interesting character. I'm really happy with like how thrilled they are as well. I wasn't sure if his wife would really be into it. She's playing the sorcerer and she seems to be pretty excited too, so I'm excited. Let's get this on you. I don't know why I didn't have momentum on. Oh, nice. Ooh, Morgan, you're in some trouble. Instead of healing, why don't you do some drain life? But she's probably gonna drop dead before she can do that. And activate that. That should help her out. Yeah, I've played a rogue once when we did a one-shot for Halloween. She was a swashbuckler with a pirate background. It was a whole lot of fun. Because she wasn't a legit, like, pirate captain, but she acted like she used to be. I had her story be that, like, she started a mutiny on the ship and stole an item from the captain and got cursed because she was a changeling. So her curse was whenever she is not in her natural changeling form, she looks like an extremely old person. So anytime she's in any other form, so I had her as a tabaxi the entire time. She was like old. And she had a, what was it? It was a horn of hearing or something like that, because I made her hard of hearing whenever she wasn't just a changeling. And it actually came into play because one of the enemies cast silence towards the end, and it didn't affect her because of that, which I thought was hilarious. That one was a lot of fun to play. Yeah, I think the Archon the Cruel storyline would be interesting.
Yes.
And it gives us a reason to go, yeah. It gives us a reason to go to Baldur's Gate after this campaign as well. Okay, I'm sorry to tell you that your husband is dead. And I have a letter for you from the Blackstone Irregulars. It's fine. That's interesting that she's just here for that. Alright. Oh, Door of Blood Mage's relative as well. Let's mark this. We're just gonna do a few random quests. What the door? There we go. Quaint hovel, not possible to pick. Okay. Yeah, I just kind of want to hit up these to see if it'll help me in the landsmeet at all. If anyone will be like, oh, she proved to be a huge help around Denerim. I don't know if it will, but just in case. And let's drop a save. These guys are a little tough. By the way, do you have telekinetic weapons? You do not. Oh my goodness, yeah. They're already doing a bunch of damage. Wow, look at them all knocked over, though. That's pretty nice. You're stunned. Sten is having trouble. Potent health potion for you. Let's get on some of these thugs, I guess. Take out the ads quicker. Crushing Prison. Morgan is out of mana. Let's get you a lovely lyrium potion. Alright, you're dead, you're dead. So it's just the archers. Sweet. Let's get you. Alright, Sten's health drops so much because he's got the berserker stuff or whatever, the Ravager. I completely forgot about that. I was like, why is he dying so quick? A lot of stuff to loot around here. We're getting really laggy. I'm gonna drop a save. Alright. Oh, and since we're playing D&D in person, I went and bought a bunch of minifigs. Not enough, though, apparently. Not enough. I need a fig for a wolf and a bugbear still. I did pick up a fig for the, young green dragon that's at Thunder Tree, though. Oh no, don't crash on me again. Okay, good. Yeah, if they go that way. I still bought the young green dragon. I am super happy. I'm very excited. Like, our campaign with our other friends has been a fun experience for the most part, but there are just some things that I feel like could be done better. So I'm like, I might as well just be a DM myself. Alright, let's drop another save. Is there anything I need to prep beforehand? I don't think so. Let's do it.
You! We're about to send the boys to hunt you down. Boss says kill him.
Well, I've been hunting you guys down, so don't worry about it. Let's try to cast Sleep. Yes, I was thinking so too. And maybe in Iarno's chest, leaving a spell book for the wizard. Okay, they're asleep. Heck yes. Time for a nightmare.
Time to kill something?
I don't know. I think that impacted. Oh, yeah. Oh my gosh, look at that cluster. Ooh, yeah, that's a good point. I'm like, maybe the rogue will have that urge. Possibly even the sorcerer, because they're an outlander, so they might not stick to like normal conventions. And be like, I see no problem with digging up graves. What are you talking about? They're dead, they don't need anything. Yeah, that too. Our wizard has a very intriguing... So I allow all sources except for Unearthed Arcana. So the wizard picked an Aetherborn from... I know that's like Magic the Gathering, but he's kind of spinning it like he was born from the Weave. And his whole goal is to figure out how to sustain his life longer. Ooh, yeah. Yeah, there's so many places that I can drop those in, so I'm pretty excited about that. Sir Frieden's Journal. The last request. That is a new quest. Oh boy. Find and eradicate the Maleficarum and the Alienage. You found a partially burned journal on a dead Templar named Sir Frieden. In it you learn that Frieden defied his superiors by helping an unnamed Templar investigate reports of blood mages in Denerim. His investigation led him to the deserted building in the back alleys of Denerim. Frieden's last entry indicates that he's been spotted, and he implores anyone reading this journal to deal with the blood mages hidden in the city. There are so many side quests in this game. There's also a hooded courier over here.
With this, you seal your guild success.
I have no idea what I'm doing with this, but okay. I'm very worried. I've kind of forgotten how it is at the start of the game because you have such low health. And it's so funny. There's like terrain stuff in the first cave that can just outright kill them. Oh yeah, there's going to be a lot of unwelcome reactions, especially there's a winged tiefling. Like, tieflings aren't normally accepted. I allow them to get stuff off of 5e tools. But I still allow them to be whatever they want to be because I think that's the fun of it. Yeah, they're a very strange bunch. They're not going to get a lot of warm and fuzzies from people that they meet. Hello, and this must be a quest, but I'm gonna go loot this first. Only 5 experience for looting that? Boo. Yeah, I don't ever want it to be like, oh, you can't do this thing because of your race. It's just gonna be like, people are really uncomfortable around them. They might be begrudging to give information, but I don't ever want to like hard block anybody. I'm here on behalf of the Blackstone Irregulars.
Hello? What is this about?
I'm here to bring you in for desertion.
This might happen. I hoped it wouldn't be you who came for me. I have no choice. Forgive me, Warden, but I cannot go back with you.
And at least one party member, she is a half-moon elf, so that's not so bad. They'll probably more than likely talk to her. I was kind of thinking of doing the thing that I've seen people do in real life, based off of... I've known somebody that would only talk to men. So if a woman asked him a question and there was a man standing there, he would literally look at the man and answer the question to him. So I was kind of thinking of doing that kind of deal, where like if the tiefling asks a question, sure, they'll answer, but not to them. And it'd just be like really rude about it.
All right.
Alright, that deserter went down quick. I think the red brands. Oh no. That is something I could do as well. Be like, they spit in their food and stuff. Yeah, you get your beer and you notice something floating on top of it that looks an awful like spittle. Yeah, I think there are ways to still get across, like, hey, these races aren't accepted here without just, oh, you can't get anything done because of the race you picked. Because I play a tiefling, and there's, like, absolutely no reactions to my tiefling in my other campaign. Ooh. Well, that's what you get for calling them a wench. What is this? Ah, deserted building. That would be the blood mages. Yeah, right? Because even before Descent into Avernus, there was still a lot of, like, people didn't like tieflings. It's in the description when you read it in the player handbook. Alright, blood mages can be pretty difficult, so let's drop a save here. I swear one of these days we will actually make it to the landsmeet.
I see a trap.
Where? Oh, right there.
Now's better than later.
Alright, let's use this on the mage. Yeah, nothing wrong with the word, but maybe she just didn't like being called a bar wench. So I definitely made a bard in BG3.
All right, all right.
Yes. All right, you guys go fight.
Let's finish this.
I do like bards. I don't know why. I think it's because I like music, so... Ooh, do y'all watch Stranger Things? Because Eddie was definitely the bard in the party. And if you haven't watched Stranger Things, I highly recommend it. See, now I want to play a bard that doesn't do that. I have an idea for one, if I ever play one, that's like, they tell all these tales of their exploits and things, like they've killed dragons and all these epic adventures, but they actually lie about everything and they haven't done any of it. Oh man, you need to get caught back up on Stranger Things. It's incredible. And yeah, if I do play a bard, they're not going to sleep with everybody. I'm going to just throw that trope right out the window.
Now's better than later.
I am not familiar with that. Okay, there's a trap in the hallway. Who is attacking Morgan? And why? After that, do drain life. Is it... Okay, it's this mercenary. We're gonna take care of this mercenary then. And we're gonna attack this one. I have never seen One Piece, just so you know. Did not know that there was a character like that. Oh, don't trigger the trap! Don't trigger the trap! Don't trigger the trap! Haha! Oh, I am hurting a lot. Okay, she got a heal off on me, but I'm gonna do a little extra. Sten should probably also... And might as well top up Alistair. OGV watches One Piece, so he would know who you're talking about. Oh no, Sten died. Man, these Canary mercenaries are tough. And then there's a whole bunch of archers. This room just keeps going. There are so many enemies. Let's get a lyrium potion on you.
Is it time to kill something?
Is there a mage up there? There's a mage up there. Oh my gosh.
I see a trap.
I don't know if we're gonna be able to make it through this. I guess we'll find out. Especially since we lost Sten. Morrigan, do your heal, and then let's see if we can drop a sleep up here. On that blood mage.
Just call me the Reaper.
Okay, they resisted, but the others are asleep, so let's do another lyrium potion.
I am ready.
And let's do nightmare. No, let's actually go over here and kill this. I cannot get up the stairs. Alistair is in my way. There we go. Nope. We're actually doing better than I thought we were gonna do. Ah, I'm stunned. Alright, Blood Mage, it's your turn. Mark of Death on you. Flurry, you're dead. Go attack. Alright, that wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be, considering we didn't have Sten. Which, let's go get him now.
That was a most difficult battle.
Sten is just a little bit squishier since the Ravager stuff depletes his health. But it does a lot of damage. It's all good. Let me take a moment to read that. Oh, I wanted to watch that movie. There was a movie that came out about it. Yeah, that's intriguing. That would be a fun character to roleplay. Yeah, I didn't recognize the name because I think the movie is just the first name, which I have no idea how to pronounce. I haven't actually watched the trailer with audio, so... Yep, Peter Dinklage plays him. I would pronounce it Serrano, but I don't know if that's right.
I'll get on it.
Yes, unlock that. And let's save. Oh, something appeared in the hallway. Level 17, Canary Mercenary. Yeah, so we are just high enough level for this, it feels like.
Now's better than later. Can I get you a letter?
Let's have you do this to the mage. Okay.
You can get off my back.
Alright, Canary Mercenary is down nice and quick. And now let's go in and get that Blood Mage. Go Alistair. It's nice having a Templar. Ah, gotcha. Okay, not to say anything bad about you in that correction. I do appreciate that, but that just made me think of Harry Potter. It's Leviosa, not Leviosa, or whatever it was. Hermione. I can't believe I forgot the pronunciation in that quote, though. It's been so long since I've watched the movie. I guess it's time for another Harry Potter marathon. I used to be able... Yes, I think everybody should have an inner Hermione. I used to be able to quote, like, that entire movie.
I'll get on it.
Oh, pressure plate. For a second, I thought that said something completely different. When I skimmed over it, I thought it said pleasure plate. And I was like, what the heck? No, pressure plate. Let's disable that. I bet you those doggo statues were part of the trap.
All right, all right. Hey. Watch in horror as I rip you apart. Now's better than later.
This rogue can't get out the door. And now he's dead.
Let's make this quick. This part takes forever.
It is done. Be defeated.
That was nice and easy. Alright, a whole bunch of chests in here. Yes, please, more experience.
Can I get you a ladder so you can get off my back?
Alright.
I'll get on it.
This is a very large basement under a very small house. It's larger on the inside. Oh my god, there's so many enemies around this corner. So many. I have been slowed. Oh yes, there is a mage there. Yeah, definitely. Definitely get to that mage. Alistair, please. Let's maybe get sleep over here. Basement of holding, yes, yes indeed.
Run while you still can.
Oh man, so I did play a little one-shot with my spouse a while ago to see if I would like to be a DM, and I threw in some of the new Spelljammer creatures, and there were the like parasites on the kids that were controlling them, and his characters succeeded on their checks to pull them off. And I was gonna have him go into combat, but immediately his character put them in a handy haversack, which they can't get out of. But they also don't die when they're in there. So I'm like, he's just got all these living parasites in his handy haversack. Like, that's gonna bite him in the butt someday. Oh, man. Okay, we really need to get over and... Okay, Alistair might die to that hound now. Yep. These hounds are the worst. Oh, come on, come on, come on. There we go. I'm so sorry, Alistair. I tried. That's a lot of enemies up ahead.
Alright, alright.
Alright, what is in here? Anything? Nope, this is just where the hounds were. We can go through that door. Was there a chest I missed? That looks like I missed a chest. Either that or it was something I didn't want. Nope, I missed a chest. Whoops. Yeah, just ice bolts. Oh, I'll sell them later. Oh, okay, yep, that is just grease. Barrels of grease. Now, which way do I want to go through? All of these lead to the same place. Let's go in through this door. And let's have them come to us, actually. Maybe. Or not. Because that's a mage. Alistair's just sitting here getting hit. There are quite a few blood mages. Alright, you know what? We'll go in. This is fine. I do not have momentum for some reason. Oh my goodness. Why is Sten's almost dead already? Jesus. I think he is going to die. I'm stunned. Get up, get up, get up. No. Dang it. I couldn't stun him in time. Come on, Sten and Alistair. You guys stay alive. Morgan, how are you doing? You're doing fine. Man, I cannot hit this mage. Alistair's dead. Sten's about to go down. Oh my god, there's so many in here. I should have just tried to bait them in. Morgan, let's get that Greater Lyrium potion. And then we're gonna drop sleep on the other. Sten's just dead. That's all there is to it. I think I'm probably gonna die shortly after. Let's get this lesser health poultice. Okay, she casts sleep. Sleep is down, sleep is down. Let's do nightmare. I don't... Okay, she did put the blood mage to sleep. Let me actually see if I can get nightmare. Oh, she woke him. Dang it. Oh boy, that's... No, let's kill this blood mage. This is not good. Alright. Is he dead? Yep. We did it! Just Morgan and me. Alright. Guess I should use an injury kit on both Sten and Alistair.
Alright, alright.
Okay, and there doesn't seem to be anything else to loot. Let's open up our inventory and get those health kits now that they have 2 injuries. Injury kits, I mean. Ooh, Sten has 3. Hopefully that cures them all. I think it's supposed to be able to cover 3. Yay, it did. And we'll drop a save. Oh my gosh, how long is this basement? I wasn't intending to do a whole dungeon. God. It's a dungeon crawl. My favorite crawl. Come on. Come on, team. No, you guys are just gonna stand there, and they're also just gonna stand there. Nobody's gonna come after us. Poke my head in. Hey, guys. Ow. We're all stunned. Oh my gosh, what was that? Oh, okay, Morgan, you're in a really good spot. Yep, let's Cone of Cold everybody who's trying to come through, and then we'll fall back. And you should have this now. I would like to be able to see where that mage is. Right on the blood mage. Yeah, pub crawls are. I'm trying to quit drinking for the most part, though. No pub crawls for me anytime soon. Into the blood mage! Come on, everybody survive. Oh, she went down. And Sten's about to go down. And Alistair, and me. How the heck? What just killed everybody? It's just like a bunch of archers. What did that mage do? Are these archers just super strong? Yes, they are, because they're about to kill Alistair. Yep. Why? Oh my god, I'm the last one standing. Get rid of the barricade. And why does my momentum keep getting turned off? That's super annoying. Alright, you're all alive again. Yeah, I'm mostly trying to reduce consumption as well because hangovers really suck. Plus, like, I gain weight super easily, so alcohol doesn't help with that at all. And congrats on you for also making that change. Age does really make a difference. Save game.
I'll get on it.
And a lovely chest over here. Magister Shield, +6 defense, +4% spell resistance, -10% nature resistance, and chance to avoid missile attacks. New codex. Right? I tend to drink, like, liquor. I'm not a fan of beer. But yeah, even a couple of drinks now is just like, oh my god. I feel like crap afterwards. So now I'm trying to limit it to just like a glass of wine with dinner and no more than that. I'm really bad with wine. I tend to just drink it all when I have wine. So I told OGV, I was like, I'm gonna try this. Just a glass of wine. If I ask for more, remind me that I told myself I will not drink any more alcohol if I can't stick to 1 glass of wine. So I had 1 glass of wine last night, and that was it. I didn't have any more. Ooh, 12 hours. Ugh, that sucks. Okay, the Magister's Shield. On the very day that the final stone was set into place in the Grand Cathedral of Orlais, Archon Vespasian was assassinated. For 3 days, every Magister Lord of the Imperium lived behind a wall of armored guards. When his successor, Hedarius, was finally named Archon, the first enchanter of the Circle of Minrithaus presented him with a gift, a silvery unadorned chain made from pure lyrium. Enchantments had been worked into the links of the chain so that donning this necklace was like holding up a shield. Blows struck at the wearer glanced harmlessly away. Unfortunately, Hedarius found that the shield did not protect him against poison nearly so well. Oh boy. Yeah, Minnie, that's typically what I normally do, is like, I don't care, I'll have another type of deal, and so I decided that if that were my reaction and I drink a whole bottle of wine in one night, that I'm just not going to buy wine anymore. I will not have it in the house. Yeah. I've had pretty bad hangovers, too. I kind of miss the days. Back when I was 21, it only lasted for like a year, where I could just drink so much and not get hungover, ever.
I know not how you have survived thus far. Is it luck or providence? No matter. You will not survive this!
Teach Morgan to be a blood mage and I won't kill you. I don't know what you guys have been doing, but I've really wanted Morgan to be a blood mage and haven't come across it at all. Alright. So, let's do that to the blood mage leader. Let's get you on this mercenary captain. We're going to do crushing prison on the blood mage leader as well. And I will attack this canary mercenary. Wine is so delicious. Which is why I tend to drink all of it in like one night. Ah, screw your fireball, jerk. Everybody's down. Oh my goodness, what did he just cast that is like bouncing around everybody? Oh my god. Morgan, you are in a lot of trouble. Yeah, go... I don't really know how... we might not be able to handle this fight. Let's just pop a lesser on you to keep you up. And a greater on you. And I will also do a lesser... That must have been. It kind of didn't look like it, but... Oh, Stan's dead. Okay, his Ravager stuff kind of doesn't help in fights like this. Come on, take him down. Okay, one blood mage is down, so now we have the boss. Which, if Morrigan can get in a good spot, we might be able to Cone of Cold him. Ow. Yeah, that was definitely Chain Lightning. Are you gonna Cone of Cold or what, Morrigan? What are you doing? She just didn't do it. I hate that. Cone of Cold. On the boss. I think it got canceled with that fireball. Ugh. Get in there. Let's do this. Mark of Death. Okay, she drained life. No. Try to stun him. There we go. Ooh, that was sketch for a moment. Poor Sten. Dalish Battery, plus 10% electricity damage, no wonder. Expert Frost Rune, we got a bedroom key, and some more healing potions. Thank you. Let's Sten stuff is good for short fights, but he cannot sustain with all of the Ravager stuff, which is a little unfortunate. What is that bedroom key for? Because, oh, it was probably for this, which I already picked the lock. It definitely was. Alright, let's save game.
I'll get on it.
Okay, so I think that was everything. Didn't we take care of the stuff in the Pearl? What's this warehouse? Was that where we were that we walked into? That might have been what we already cleared out. I'm taking the long way there. There's literally a road to the right that goes there. What is happening? I can be an emotional drunk. It's one of two things. Either I'm very talkative and very happy drunk, or I'm a sad drunk and I'll start crying. I feel like when I was younger, I was more the sad drunk. Now that I'm older, I'm more of the happy drunk. Okay, yeah, that was definitely this place. Yeah, I'm one of two extremes when I'm drunk. There is no in between. I don't think I've had that happen. Alright, so let me just double check some of the quests. Back Alley Justice, yeah, we can turn that in. We can turn that in. I don't really care about the crime wave. And we can turn this in. Or use it at the landsmeet. I don't really know. Alright, so we're gonna hit up the market district, hand in these quests. Shiani?
I'm sorry if I was rude to you.
Okay, no.
Andraste's ass, you'd think I'd learned some social graces. Anyway, what I mean by all this is, thank you.
Usually it was some stuff going on in life that would get exacerbated when I was drunk. Yeah, I'm usually very reserved when I'm out in public as well. I'm pretty introverted. But when I'm drunk, I actually, you know, talk to people and stuff. And I don't mind it. And I definitely need to get drunk if I'm going to dance in public as well. I do not like dancing in front of people. Alright, Sergeant Kylon. Are you the one I'm supposed to report to? I don't even remember anymore. It looks like you have a quest for me, though. You do. Need any more help?
Complaints in the Nord Noble Tavern that some mercenaries have invaded. Nothing violent has happened. The sellsword
Yes, it can be.
Disturbing the nobles' rarefied conversation. Just drum the louds out of there. The barkeep doesn't mind some blood. Or sport, as she called it. The captain said Denerim won't miss a few dead mercenaries. Do what you will. Good luck.
I like dancing. I'm just way too self-conscious to dance in public. So yeah. Where do I turn this in? Chanter Rosamond. Chanter Rosamond. Oh, okay. It's to the Chanters, which was, I don't remember what direction. Somewhere over here, I think. Yep, back here.
Magic exists to serve man and never to rule over.
Those
stung with 100 arrows, though suffering from ailments both great and small, his heart was strong, and he moved on.
Oh, I used to do that too, Minnie. Hey, we got a mercenary achievement. I used to sing in the shower all the time. Mage's Collective Liaison. But yeah, I too would not sing whenever I knew somebody was around. I used to be in choir though. Hey, Stan leveled up. No, 19 warrior. Alright, let's give you some more constitution. I feel like you're kind of desperate for it. Reaver, not Ravager. Yeah, Sunder Arms. Yeah, we'll take that. Alright, so I think that's pretty much it from that, unless we have, yes, the Blackstone Irregulars. I have a few to hand in for them. Where are the Blackstone Irregulars? I don't remember where they are. They're apparently somewhere in Denerim. That's Slim Coldry. I don't want... Was it Sarah? Probably not. I thought there was just a...
Yes?
I have a letter from you.
Let me take a look. No, I can't believe this. I won't.
Alright. They're supposed to be in Denerim. But what part of Denerim? Map. Where are the Blackstone Irregulars? Let's see. Mage's Collective Bag. Knight Commander. That's to Arl Amon's.
Dwarven crafts. Fine dwarven
I think it was back here, maybe? That's a warehouse I can enter? What? Is this the warehouse? The Noble Tavern? And the Nod Tavern? Ah, thank you. Appreciate it. There's just a warehouse that I can walk into that I didn't realize. I'm gonna loot it. Yeah, I didn't think to check in the tavern, so appreciate that. We'll hand in some quests and go back to the estate.
This was bad from the start. No way he was here to deal.
I know I have a quest for this.
I ain't sticking around to see how this turns out.
Just help people hide bodies. Do that for a living. I'm just gonna carry around this body bag with me for a while. Man, I always get so excited when I see first time chatter and then it winds up being spam. It makes me sad. Not always, but a lot of times.
Got it.
Alright, yeah, they're definitely in here. Thank you, Manny, for pointing that out.
What are you looking at? We're the Crimson Oars.
Oh, this is a different quest, but I'll take care of it. You got excited for no reason. Let's see. I'm gonna have to ask you to leave now.
Many battles. What are you to us?
I'm gonna intimidate you. Hundreds have died in my wake. You're just a number to me.
We were just leaving. Yes, Oars, we go to the docks.
Get out of here.
The irregulars thank you.
There we go. 3 gold. And we got Blackstone Auxiliary achievement. And easily sidetracked achievement. Yes, I am. Save the game. Okay. We'll talk to the one guy now that we got rid of those, and then we'll head to Arl Aemon. I know, right? It was a wall of text, and I was like, oh man, somebody has some good stuff, especially like they actually addressed the channel name. I was like, oh, somebody has something they want to say, like, what can this be? And then it's an ad for viewers.
Edwina sends her thanks for getting rid of the Crimson Oars. Mind you, she's disappointed there was no fighting. Here's payment. You've helped out a great deal.
Yeah, boy. 3 gold. All the gold. Alright. Well, I think this is a good place to end the stream today. We completed a whole bunch of side quests. I have talked to him, but I haven't completed any. I didn't want to pick any up. I didn't feel like running around and doing all of those. Because my goal was not to like 100% this game and do a bunch of side quests. The only reason I did those were to see if anybody would help with the landsmeet. Which I think tomorrow we will enter Arl Aemon's estate, talk to Queen Enora, and hopefully finally be able to start the landsmeet and see if we can succeed in overthrowing Loghain. Sacrilege? Oh no! Why is this sacrilege? And thank you, Zonam. I will... Hopefully it will go well. Do you want me to just steal a whole bunch of stuff, Minnie? Or 100% the game? There's so many quests. Look at this. All of this. It's a lot of running around. A lot of hours. Okay. SCP? I have a lot of acronyms in my job, but I don't remember them. What is SCP? I totally will. I might have to have a drink tonight before I start DMing a game to relax a little bit. I am a little nervous, but excited. Oh, ooh, October is coming up. I do plan on playing some horror games, so if you want to drop that in the suggestions on Discord. I've kind of figured I'd put a pause on whatever I'm playing for the month of October and try some horror games. But anyways, I'm going to end it here. I hope you all have a fantastic rest of your day. I will be back tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. with some more Dragon Age Origins. I feel like we're getting closer, incrementally closer to the end of the game. Looking forward to that. And yeah, I have Discord, Twitter, y'all can hit me up on there, and also Patreon. So yeah, I will catch y'all tomorrow. For now, stay safe and stay healthy.